People are struggling, and the city of Portland is trying to help, find them housing, a job, a way to meet their essential needs. But at the same time, I've found the city may be undermining some of those efforts and actually making it more difficult for people to get back on their feet by sending them to a private debt collector without considering how much they owe or the challenges they face.
My name is Trayla Lomax. I'm 30 years old, born and raised in Portland, Oregon. I'm a single mother of 3.
The city of Portland sent Trayla Lomax to collections because she owed $5,000 for damages after an accident with an unmarked police car. Trayla doesn't have that kind of money. She's a domestic violence survivor who works part-time, receives food stamps, and lives paycheck to paycheck.
And at that time, unbeknownst to them, we were homeless. So it was just really hard.
And the consequences of not paying only increased because collections tacked on interest and fees.
As time goes on, the money keeps going and it gets higher and higher and higher. And that is even a more discouraging thing to face because you're like, okay, well, you find a plan for maybe the $5,000. Then when the interest occurs and it's $7,000 and it's like, well, what do I do?
On top of that mounting debt, Trayla's credit score took a hit, making it more difficult to rent an apartment.
And it put a lot of barriers and boundaries in front of me when I was applying to move into places, applying for jobs, wanted to move, get in a car, things like that. It was just very hard because it was a big strike on my credit.
Trayla felt defeated. It wasn't a fair fight.
And just think I'm one of who knows how many. That's the bigger issue, is like I'm just one person.
A closer look at public records found since 2015, the city has sent 157,000 accounts to a private third-party collection agency called Ray Klein, or Professional Credit Service, in hopes of getting back more than $32.8 million in unpaid bills. Of that money owed, only about 14% has been recovered. Which presents an interesting question. Is this practice cost-effective? Is it worth it? Knowing the consequences of sending someone to collections is significant.
There's no benefit. When the city goes after people who have no money and no assets, the city is not getting paid. So the only thing that's happening is the person is getting punished.
Margie Solinger is the city ombudsman, sort of like a public watchdog at City Hall.
It's not a humane system the way that we're approaching it. I don't know that it's intentional, but that is certainly the effect.
The city doesn't have a collections policy. There's no single rule. Instead, every bureau decides on its own when to send people to an outside collection agency. For example, the Revenue Division sends people if they owe $100 or more, but the Water Bureau refers people to collections for much smaller amounts. We found since 2016, the Water Bureau sent more than 300 accounts to collections for $50 or less. Some people who owed as little as $25 were referred to a private collection agency.
It's just creating a bad domino effect, a downhill spiral for people that are trying to accomplish better things financially.
After looking at Trayla's case, the ombudsman stepped in and asked the city to forgive the debt. Trayla couldn't pay, and sending her to collections was only making a bad situation worse. The city agreed and decided to drop the debt and cease collections.
I feel blessed. I'm blessed. This is beyond luck.
Despite her damaged credit, Trayla's confident she can move forward in life and hopes others can follow by removing this financial barrier.
It's changed my life. It's changed my life.
By establishing criteria for when people are sent to collections and evaluating their ability to pay, the city of Portland can help those on the brink get back on their feet.